So welcome in today's episode where I want to review the gaming performance of this, gaming prowess, the Zephyrus G16 2024 model. The laptop with all the power that you need for your gaming experience and needs. We'll be testing it with a few games like Wukong, and then I'll move on to Cyberpunk 2077, Horizon, Forbidden West, and then I'll knock it out of the park with Fortnite, your all-time favorite, because, well, why not? I feel the rage quit coming after about 2 games being knocked around by a bunch of 10-year-olds. So, I am going to be cranking it up to, I'm going to be first of all using G-Helper because I very much prefer G-Helper instead of the traditional Armory Crate. And with G-Helper, I went on to Turbo, and the GPU mode, of course, is set to Ultimate. I'm going to be using 240Hz refresh rate because, that's the way to go with the laptop, such as this one right here. And basically, that's about it. If you want to go into the fan curves and the power, basically, this is what I have. I have the CPU boost enabled. 80 watts is the way to go. That's going to be the maximum. The fan curves, they're going to give us a lot of noise, but hopefully keep that temperatures down. And, let's just start off gaming something right here and see how everything goes. So, yes, let's hear those fans. Yes, so this laptop is elevated. I'm using my old laptop right there to prop it up, but I want to give it as much, clearance as I possibly can in order for it to have enough airflow going into the machine. But yeah, those stems, what can you expect? I mean, look at this guy. He's so thin. My thumb is, it's actually, a lot thicker than the actual part of the laptop containing all of the important bits. So definitely in a very thin package, you are going to get some heat, and it is doing an honorable job at keeping this laptop cool, running at around 80 FPS or so in Cyberpunk 2077, cranked out as much as it would possibly can. And I would say a lot of that heat is being taken care of with the help of the liquid metal that's stuck both on the GPU and the CPU part of this laptop right here. So overall noise, I would say acceptable. I mean, this is a gaming laptop. Emphasis being said on, put on laptop, because noise and fans. Let's see some of those fans and let's see what they are doing right now. So, what does G-Helper say? Well, of course, the CPU is going to be ramping up to some 5,000 RPM. We're around 4,500, 4,600, 4,700 on the GPU side over there. And that mid fan, that's saying around 7,200 RPM, 7,300 RPM. So I would say a bunch of the noise is actually coming from, I would say, that mid fan, because this has 3 fans in it in order to keep it cool. And if we go back into Cyberpunk 2077, which has conveniently flatlined, we have this game installed on a Samsung 990 Pro 1TB SSD that I've installed on this laptop myself. So if you want to check that out and see how you can do it yourself, you can check the link up here. Right, so this is the game. Okay, we are just sitting at around high 70s with the FPS meter over there, even mid 80s, which is definitely running very smoothly, and that is pretty cool to see. It is noisy, yes, but those temps look really in check. I mean, getting around 80C on the GPU, with its utilization being, of course, 99%, that's pretty cool. I mean, we're running around 95 watts or so in that GPU, and that is definitely something. Even that CPU seems to be working quite a bit because it's sitting at just shy of 40% utilization. So, yeah, that's something. Even those fans are working overtime. I mean, you can definitely hear those fans going on in the background. You might need some headsets if you want, to play this game in your own peace and terms and quiet, I should say. But yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, you can hear them definitely, but hey, it is a laptop, and it is a very thin laptop at that. So obviously, you're gonna hear some fan going on in the background. So we have here Wukong, or I should say Black Myth Wukong, and this is at running absolutely at around 60 FPS or so, plus or take some FPS there. But it looks absolutely stunning. It's running on its cinematic presets, so as far as the graphical interface goes, it looks almost as close and as good as it can look. Of course, I have disabled the full ray tracing support because this kind of drops it down to around 30 to 40 with notable spikes and drop in FPS here and there, especially in fights, and you don't want that. We do have DLSS enabled, and as I said, the cinematic preset is all that we have in there to go with. So we're almost full in on this game, and this ASUS Zephyrus G16, which is running a 4060, it is running it absolutely great. The game looks absolutely great, and it definitely feels buttery smooth. Of course, with the help of this OLED panel, which is a 240Hz refresh rate panel, we're not hitting that, of course. We're just sitting at around 60 FPS or so in this game, but it definitely feels buttery smooth. It looks visually very, very appealing, and if we go into a fight here, we should see if we have any of those pesky FPS drops that you definitely don't want to have in a game, well, such as this one right here. So let's get my ass kicked by this guy. And yes, let's see what's happening here. I definitely suck at this game, so let's see. Alright, yo man. Yeah, that's one way to half my HP right there in one hit. Yeah, the water looks rather nice, and you know what? We don't have any drops in FPS because this is why I'm here for, not to get my ass handed to me. Bro, stop it, yo. I'm pretty sure I can't run away from this fight now, can I? Well, at least I got some hits in there, but definitely no FPS drops, and that's what we were looking for in this game, especially with this visual settings, and the game runs absolutely smooth. This right here is another very nice looking game. It is running actually very, very good. We're running it on very high presets, so if going over into settings right here and display, you can see that once again we're running at the full native resolution, 2560 by 1600. It is definitely using the DLSS right now on with well, boost enabled as well. And as for the graphics, of course, we're sitting at very high with very high and high presets as much as it would go all across the board over there. And yes, the game runs and feels rather nice. You can definitely hear those fans once again, but you know, the key takeaway is of course that this is a laptop, so of course you will hear them no matter what. But yes, it looks nice, it looks very, very cool, it's fluid in its motion. There's no noticeable, or I should say there's no FPS drop at all, and the game runs absolutely great. We're sitting at around 60 FPS once again. We're definitely not taking advantage of the full 240Hz well, refresh rate of this panel, and I don't think that we will anytime soon. But what about something like Fortnite right here? Well, it seems to be running absolutely smooth. Of course it should. Some 60 FPS would be nice to have at least, but at the very least I'm hoping not to have any FPS drops. And the game runs absolutely brilliant with full graphical settings, so they're set as high as it would possibly can with this game. And I'll tell you what, it looks absolutely amazing. We're getting some 60, or I should say mid 50s to mid 60s FPS in there, and that's absolutely nice. This is one of the games that I like to casually play here and there, or at least well, I don't know, before I die 3 times in a row, and then yeah, I'm kind of set. But yeah, it's okay. I would guess it's okay. Let's see, maybe I can score a hit or a kill. Is it? Oh, let's see, what's this? Yeah, I very much like the way the game looks and feels. Even though it's a bit cartoonish, I know it's not the latest or the greatest when it comes to graphical challenges, to say the least. Somebody's after me. There we go. Oh yeah, I suck. Hey, there we go. 1 kill. So I'm not that bad, although I'm not good either. Okay, I'm having too much fun in this game as it is. I'm pretty sure of that. I should have less fun. But the whole idea of playing games is to actually have some fun in there. So Yeah, even though my health is down, I should be able to score another hit somewhere. Maybe, hopefully. So, how did this laptop perform today? Well, I would say it did rather nicely because, well, it gave you 60 FPS or just where about 60 FPS in all of the games there without RTS being enabled, but definitely cranking up all the other visual graphic settings on the games. And 60 FPS is definitely something that you strive to achieve in most games, especially in competitive gaming like Fortnite, because it gives you that fluid motion where, you know, if you don't have any stutters or any tearing in the image, then that's definitely something that you can play all day long without having your eyes being strained or, you know, your performance being hindered. The only little gripe that I have with it, but of course this is a laptop so it was to be expected, it's the fan noise of this device. Of course those fans are working overtime in order to keep that GPU and CPU combo cooled down, and even though you're running liquid metal on this laptop, it still goes up to 80C and the fans are going to somewhere in the neighborhood of 5000 RPM. But yeah, this is with all the bells and whistle enabled. So this is a very thin gaming laptop, so definitely that cram space doesn't really help. But the ventilation on the back does help. The 3 fans that it has included does definitely help as well. And of course, for the fact that you're running liquid metal on there, it should also be a much better and much cooler overall device than you know, devices that are running thermal paste. Not that there's anything wrong with thermal paste, but this is definitely on its top game when it comes to cooling performance, and ASUS is definitely trying to give you the maximum potential of cooling this device when putting it under heavy load. We have been using its big adapter there, so that's a 200 watts adapter because, well, you want to keep the battery topped up, and there is also a lot of power that's being drawn from the laptop, so whenever you're trying to play games at full crank like we just did today, definitely the full brick is the way to go because, well, it gives you the overall efficiency, and this laptop has been given a rating for the discharge rate that definitely that can cover. The other one might not be able to cover all the discharge rate of this laptop, so definitely you might be having performance issues if you're trying to game full crank like we just did with the small brick that comes included in the package. Guys, thank you so very much for being so awesome once again with me and choosing to watch another of today's video. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, maybe consider subscribing, and see you guys in the next one. And if you don't want to wait for my next video to come out, please make sure to check this video right here, and also feel free to contact me on Discord, so I'll leave all the links down in the bio of this video. And until the next one, guys, stay awesome, stay tuned, and see you around.